Hello YouTube, this is Desode here. Just wanted to talk about a couple little things. First of all, this is a sponsored video by Magic Hobbies. It's my local hobby shop. They work with me a lot. They got great products, do everything they can help me. And I just really appreciate these guys. So this video is one that's sponsored by them because I'm using some things from their store. And what I wanted to do with this build was I had an old wattage Mini Max Park Flyer, and I wanted to, as I do with everything, I had to add FPV to it. So I ended up picking up a Hyperon, I try and get to say that right, 600 TVL mini cam with the 25 milliwatt 5.8 backpack on it. And this lets me just pretty much, I mean, you can convert pretty much anything that you possibly have to FPV with it. And if you combine that with a helical, be it a 3-turn or even a 5-turn, you can get pretty good range out of these things. I know a lot of people think, well, it's only 25 milliwatt. Well, in some countries, that's all they're allowed to use, and there's people accomplishing a mile with 25 milliwatt. So it's all about, you know, if you don't know or you've heard it from other people, it's all about that receiver antenna. I mean, that really makes a big difference. One thing that I'm using in this plane, and that is this battery that I use the crap out of these things. This is from Magic Hobbies. It's a Venom Flight Pack 2S 1320 13C, and this pack is it's my go-to pack for all kinds of little tiny things. I've got probably 100, maybe 125 cycles on this battery. There is zero swelling. It charges up every time. They recommend just charging it at a 1C charge, and that's what I do. It doesn't take that long to charge it with 2 of them. And the flight times that I'm getting on something like the Mini Max, which I'm getting about probably 30 minutes flight time on that, that's all I need. The batteries are they're durable. They constantly hold a charge. There's, you know, some packs that I've used, after you get about 50, 75, getting close to 100 cycles on them, it takes them forever to balance charge out. Not these. It's literally just always, 15 minutes, even on balance charge, and the cells are right up there, solid. Always have, premium performance for it. So very happy with that, and I want to thank Magic Hobbies for helping me out with those packs, because I use them on a lot of other things. Also, I picked up this from Magic Hobbies, and they had some old radios, and what I did is, I've always wanted a Futaba Gold, and this is the 7FGH, which I believe this was originally designed as a helicopter radio from the Gold series. I mean, you can of course use it with everything. One thing I love about it, it's got your just everything's completely manual, cleared down to your idle up. You can set your idle up, which, I mean, I use that. I'll just throw a switch and my idle up kicks on, and then toss, launch with that. Your dual rates for everything right on your switches. It's just a great radio. And one thing about it is this one was checked by the AMA, and I believe it was converted to narrowband, because these used to be full spectrum band, which was banned in the US because our government's a bunch of idiots. But anyhow, that's a whole nother story and another rant. But if you got some kind of little park flyer and you don't have a lot of room, a lot of people are thinking, man, I don't have the room here to fly FPV, or that's not the case. Get yourself these. You can still find these occasionally. If not, you can get a slow stick, GWS slow stick. GWS also makes the Pico stick, which is a smaller version. But even a slow stick, this thing flies super slow when I bring the throttle down, and it's not very fast, wide open. But you can do that with pretty much this and even a full-size GWS slow stick. So I know me and my buddy, and I'll show a little footage of us, chasing each other, doing a little bit of practicing, a little bit of formation flight. And I'm flying GWS full-size slow stick, and he was flying this, and I was able to just stay right at that pace, and so that's awesome. It's just a great little plane. I mean, these things were used back in the day. I would say, I think they came out probably early 2000s, something like that is when the Mini Max came out from wattage, and a lot of people learned to train on them. It's just a very simple, easy 3-channel flyer. I've been showing some kids in the neighborhood and teaching some of my friends to fly with this plane. It takes a beating. It's so lightweight that it just, if you get in trouble, all you got to do is pretty much turn the throttle off. And, if you lose flying line of sight or whatnot and you lose orientation, I just tell them, just turn the throttle off. It'll just float down to the ground and do a light plop. And that's what it does. So I think any kind of plane like this, be it the GWS Pico or the GWS Slow Stick, if you can come across any of the wattage planes still, they're great little flyers. All right, let's talk about the Hyperon Mini 600 TBL camera just a little bit more. Like I said, I've been very happy with this camera. My one gripe with it is, since it's so small, there are no settings to adjust any exposure rate. So when you do get down into the evening hours, it does not deal well with shadowed areas. It starts to become dark if you get in a shadowed area. The switching between the light and the dark starts to become a little bit of a problem. But all in all, it's a very well done camera, and it works very well. It's been through probably about 25 crashes. The antennas take quite a good beating. One thing you have to watch for is on the bottom where it's level going across there. And if you can see that, let me try and get a zoom on it. Them bottom rails, if it gets bent, you kind of want to go around and make sure that all three of them are level on the bottom of the clover leaf, because if it does get bent, it'll throw it out of tune. And you will notice a little bit of range issues start to develop because it throws the clover leaf skewer out of whack. So that's something that you definitely want to watch. And as far as weight, I believe it's 4 grams is what I weighed it at. So 4 grams, you can throw that on anything. I mean, the total weight of this plane is around 50 grams. Like, that's with a battery in it. And that's just awesome stuff. All right, now let's look at the weight on the Venom Flight Pack 1320 2S. Like I said, I use this for everything. In my park flyers, I use it. I also use it a lot on a lot of my other planes to power my VTX, my video transmitter separately. I just plug that JST right into the VTX. Like I said, I use the living crap out of these packs. It's just absolutely amazing. Let's see what it weighs here. Around 13 grams, probably when it's switching 12.5 grams. So really great little pack. And another little thing I want to mention real quick on these packs is they are, as you can see, they're lifetime battery replacement plan. And it's very easy to do. All you do is when you get the battery new, you go to the Venom website, you register the pack, and then you take that sticker and you put it on the battery. And you're good to go. If you have any problems with that pack, they are really on it. They replace it, send you a new one, and I mean, they stand by their stuff. And you can get those if you look in the description. I'll have the link there for the battery at Magic Hobbies Online in Strasburg, Ohio. Their online store. It has everything that they have in the shop. So I will have the link in the description so that you can go and pick up one of these little batteries. If you need something, like I said, I use it even to power my VTXs in a lot of my planes. I use it in the Penguin. I use it in my Phoenix. I use it in just about every plane if I want to run a separate power system to the VTX to get the maximum flight time out of my builds. So definitely check it out. If you're looking for a good little battery for a 2S, it's for a park flyer, or you want to use just a separate battery to power a VTX, you can't kill these batteries. Great stuff, and I appreciate, once again, Magic Hobbies turning me on to these. Okay, so to wrap this up, we'll go and we'll show just a little clip of some footage. You can see how this thing flies. My buddy's just learning how to fly and is doing pretty well. We got to where we're flying in a loop around a field where we go to do our flying at. And I'm behind him with a GWS Slow Stick filming. And that's with the Run Cam 2. So we'll show a little bit of footage of that so you can see this thing flying and see how it does. Like I said, he puts the helical on his goggles and has no problem with the ranges that we're flying in 25 milliwatt and the Hyperon. So great stuff. Watch that, and we'll have some closing comments and call it a day. All right, as you can see, you can keep right with it. Even with a bigger, the GWS slow stick is way bigger than this plane. Has way more power. Yet this plane, you can fly it with just about any other plane that can bring the speed down. A great learner, great trainer. Don't be afraid to take any park flyer that you have, do a small build, do a flight test build, do any kind of small build if you want to learn. And start out with 3 channels, throw a cam on there like the Hyperon, use a good little quality pack, and it'll just be, you'll have a ton of fun. Okay, and like I said, check out Magic Hobbies. The link is in the description for these little 2S batteries from Venom. Just absolutely great packs. And as always, FPV everything. Have a good day, guys. Happy flying, and enjoy those nice windless days with your park flyers. It's Dessert out. Peace.